Accusations. False.
Accusations Club.
Yeah, Accusations Club, bro. That's the name of the podcast. Let's talk about GCW. I haven't watched it, but
I'm not talking about it.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What it do? The It Boys in the building tonight. Oh, what a feeling. I'm feeling right. You ain't even got to get your purses out. You already know the vibes. It's your boy Delboy in the building. I got my co-host, Young Sasuke, Young Wolf.
In the building.
Got
yes,
Young
sir.
Jem in the building. We are the Indy Takers, the It Boys. You already know the vibes.
Yes, sir.
That weekly dose of independent wrestling. All that good stuff. How you doing, my bro?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
All right, man. I'm another age. You know, it was my birthday a few days ago.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate it, Bruce. Man. I'm feeling old as fuck, but you know, show must go on, man.
Must go on, bro. Bro, as I said, as long as you feel young, that's all that matters.
Bro, it is. I was a bit ill, but I'm feeling okay now. So I'm starting to feel a bit young. Like I'm starting to feel like this new age is going to be a prosperous year. So I can't complain. Do you know what I mean? I can't complain. But let's get straight into it.
Yes, sir.
I want to talk about Ring of Honor. We started off with Ring of Honor last week. So you're right, we could touch on a few things that happened in Ring of Honor because we've got other stuff to talk about as well. I feel like I don't want to go through the whole show.
Of course. I
don't think this show was as good as the first episode.
Do you not?
Not really. Okay. I felt like a lot of the matches were just a bit. They're just there for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But there were some cool moments. Dalton Castle and the boys. That was good to see. Good to see them back in the thing. Tony Deppen versus Samoa Joe. And that
good match.
Good match. Tony Deppen showed out. Samoa Joe showed out. But I think the most important bit was what happened after.
Yes.
Our boy Mark.
Yes. Our boy Mark. When I saw it, I said, you know what?
Boy Mark.
We didn't call it first because we said world title, but a title's a title, innit? Like, I'm happy for him to go after the TV title, honestly.
And like we said last week, bro, he's over as fuck.
Crowd over,
him. And that even kind of like ties in with the announcement that they had on Rampage that at the pay-per-view next month, there's going to be a reach for the Sky ladder match for the tag team titles. They've already announced Ray and Pentagon as the first entrance for the Ring of Honor title. What other tag teams do you feel need to be in this? Who do you want to see win? FTR would be a good shout.
FTR would be a great shout.
Kingdom?
Yeah, potentially.
Kingdom.
Aussie,
bro. After that match,
I was late. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do the reverb yet. But Rhett, Titus, and Tracy Williams, they definitely need to be there. Trying to think what other indie talent. I feel like maybe someone from New Japan needs to be there.
Could do.
I feel like this ladder match has prospects to be possibly the match of the night. They haven't really announced any other match for the card, but so far so good. We've only got one tag team that's been announced for it, and already it seems to be the match that everybody's looking forward to. So yeah, but in terms of who I think is going to win, or I want to win, I'm not too sure.
I think there's a debate for FTR to kind of get the titles back. Simply because of the history that they've recently just had. It'll kind of be quite heartwarming, but
that's true.
I'm not against Pentagon and Ray Phoenix winning. But I feel like that's also very predictable. I think FTR and those two would be too predictable, but with the competitors that you put in there, I don't know how many teams they're putting in there, but that's gonna the spots they're gonna do. Yeah, we just have to pray before they go out there, innit? Because can't come and kill yourself, but
100%. I mean, we're gonna get into their match. Actually, fuck it, let's get into their match now. Aussie Open versus Rhett, Titus, and Tracy Williams.
Oh my days! Go on.
What type of music is this? Banger, but this your baby. Fuck it. Give Aussie Open the tag team titles.
100%.
Give Aussie Open the tag team titles. After that match, give Aussie Open the tag team titles.
Bro, they were cooking. This match, you would think the titles were on the line.
Yeah, 100%.
That on that show. Tracy Williams, oh my goodness. Rhett Titus, them two were going off.
bro.
Like I'm just sat there watching. My man just walked, I think it was Tracy Williams. My man just came, he was just going in. And like you see me, yeah. No one laugh, yeah, but whenever I see a wrestler, yeah, or a superstar like with trunks and then boots, and then the socks comes out of the boots, yeah, I just know that they're on some
They're
sort
on
of
serious business, isn't it? On
they're on
serious buzz.
serious.
Nah, I fully hear it. Nah, that was an incredible tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good way to, like, obviously Aussie Open, they've been on a tear the past year. You know, they've had, you know, the New Japan strong tag team titles. They've been on Impact. They've been all over and they've been killing it. You know, Tracy Williams and Rhett Titus, they've been a bit quiet because they were initially part of Ring of Honor. And unless you're like at least searching for them, you're not necessarily going to see where they're wrestling. And it was a good way to kind of like reintroduce them to people that haven't seen them in a while and reintroduce them to people that haven't actually seen them wrestle whatsoever. And,
yeah, for real.
I mean, if the main event wasn't what the main event was, that match should have been the main event.
Yeah, facts.
But that main event was absolutely, we also had another tag team match. We had Angelico and Serpentico versus Roosh and Dralistico.
Did you enjoy this one?
I'm not gonna lie, it's not me that said it. This match was shit. But I think the purpose of the match was just to get Roosh and Dralistico, just to give them some reps. But I don't know. I don't think it necessarily done any. Like, I like Angelico. I've liked him since Lucha Underground days. The Pentaco, I don't necessarily have anything. I don't care for him. Like, it's incredible to see that. It's incredible to see how over he is in front of the crowd. His entrance with Luther was cold, but for the most part, like, I just look at him like a comedy wrestler. I look at him like Toriano. He's just someone that's just there for relief. I don't necessarily have any care for him. And the match was just to showcase how good Roosh and Dralistico were, and for them to beat people up after the match as well, because that's their shtick. They beat you up. Some heat. Exactly. They beat you up, they win, and they beat you up after the match as well. And
rip your mask.
Yeah. Okay, that was cold.
That was interesting. I wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting that either.
I look at when I look at Angelico, right? I feel like my mind instantly, like you said, goes back to Lucha Underground days.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, it's not like, I don't want to be that guy to say it, but I miss him with Jack Evans. Like, them two used to just cook.
Yeah.
Like, but then I don't know what happened to Jack Evans. Like, did he just get released?
So his contract expired and he didn't resign.
Damn.
From what I remember. And yeah, he's just, I don't know. I know he's done maybe like a few indie shows like GCW, but other than that, I don't think. I mean, maybe Jack Evans returning to Ring of Honor might be something for him. I don't know.
For real.
Tony Khan is. But,
I feel like them two just need to reunite and just start cooking again, because some of the matches they put on back then in Lucha Underground were just insane.
Cold, man. And like with Angelico, especially like his AEW run and like this Ring of Honor match, like I'm tired of having to like defend him.
Yeah.
Like, yo, he's cold. And it's like, the only reference I have is to him in Lucha Underground. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe the beauty of a place like Lucha Underground was the fact that this is probably your first time seeing him, and he's around other people where there's either stars and there's other people that you're building. So you have the grace to be able to kind of like shine. Whereas we're watching Ring of Honor now, we've got AEW, and there's other wrestlers that we probably deem more exciting than Angelico, as talented as he is. So we don't necessarily care about him. Like, not to be deep.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I know
if Angelico was not on any roster, we're not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're not missing
out. Facts.
We're not missing out on much. It's not like when you first signed, I was so excited because I'm like, wow, this guy's cold. But his showing since being on AEW and then this Ring of Honor match, for me, it's just kind of like, I've been defending you, nigga.
Like step up.
Step up or go home, then at the same time, if he was to like not be on the roster, I don't even necessarily care. Like, I'm not necessarily impressed because there's other wrestlers there's the Rooshes, there's the Dralisticos, there's Top Flight, there's the Kingdom. Like, there's other people that have more stock in. So
yeah, he.
And then we had the likes of Trisha Adora versus Billy Stark. Trisha Adora won, good showing. Trustbusters, Slim J and Ari Davari versus Jake Christ and Man Scout.
Couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less.
Be honest.
I don't know. There's something about Ari Davari that annoys me. I don't know if it's
Bro, he's just everywhere, fam. Like, he just gets on my nerves, bro. Like, 1 minute I look, he's on Impact. Next minute I look, he's on AEW. Next minute I look, he's on Ring of Honor. Then he's back in WWE. I'm like, bro, rest, just rest. And then he comes. He was on the show last week. He was on the show this week. I was just sat there. I was just like, bro, Tony, like, we're not starving for Davari. No one in any group chat is saying, oh yeah, you check that Davari match.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm with you. I can't stand, bro. Honestly.
I'm just tired of like I like Slim J, but then with the whole Trustbuster thing, it's like I don't get it. I think that's what my issue is more than anything. I don't necessarily get it because he's come over to AEW Ring of Honor with this whole gimmick of I'm rich, this and that. He was doing that low key in the 205 Live as well, but I just don't get it. Like I'm struggling to be invested in it, and it just seems like again a lot of these wrestlers are just there to either do comedy relief and then take jobs on AEW and Dark and whatnot. But yeah, I'm not buying it. We had Wheeler Yuta versus Timothy Thatcher.
Don't know how I feel about this match.
You're not feeling
it? When I wasn't feeling it, I don't know. Maybe my expectation was a lot higher than what they delivered.
Yeah.
Because I looked at both of them and I said, yeah, this is going to be match of the night. Yeah. Personally, it wasn't, but it wasn't bad. I think, my expectations were just too high. Yeah. But it was good. It was good. Yuta cooked.
Yeah, Yuta cooked. I think maybe because I was on Reddit briefly and I saw a few people's comments on it. And I think maybe what it could potentially be is like, stylistically, Timothy Thatcher's style was very different.
Yeah.
It was very, very different. But I mean, for the most part, I thought it was like a good match. Was it the best pure title match I've seen? No, but in terms of like some of the storytelling that they were able to show within the match, it was something I enjoyed. I was thinking, okay, cool, this is proper cool. Yuta won, as everybody probably predicted. And we had a New Japan talent come and offer him out for a match. Got Clark Connors. Should be a good match. Clark Connors.
I haven't seen too much of Clark. Is he good?
Clark is good. He's part of the LA dojo that had the likes of Carl Fredericks, Gabriel Kidd, Kevin Knight. Might be missing a few other people, but yeah, he's coming from. He's very, very good. He's very, very good. Like he's very, very talented. He's someone, especially like during New Japan Strong, like during the pandemic, he was absolutely killing it. Had some great matches, so should be interesting. Yeah, no, he's dope, man. It should be interesting to kind of see what comes of this. I know it got filmed maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, but yeah, should be a good match.
What do you think about Yuta's promo afterwards? Like the little kind of, I don't know. Are they kind of going heel with him? Like, is he?
I mean, I think that's probably the best thing to do because after what happened on, I know we don't want to speak about AEW, but after what happened on Dynamite, where they got into the scuff with Dark Order and Adam Page, like, it very much looks like that. BCC might be turning, and I think it's needed for them because one, like, I've never ever looked at Yuta as like, as much as he showed he's had grit. So remember that match I had with John Moxley. He showed he's got the grit, but at the same time, there's only so much. Like, for me, I still see him as like one of best friends. I still see him as part of like Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, Chuck. Like, I still look at him as part of that. So now he's kind of switching gears. I'm just like, okay, cool, this is needed. The person that needs it more than anybody is our good friend Claudio, because I'm so sorry, that guy is too nice. He hasn't like he's too nice. Like that nigga ain't got the blood. He ain't got that dog in him
at all.
And after what I saw on AEW when they were scuffing people, I was like, you know what? This is what they actually need. Like Moxley, I believe him. Whether he's heel or face, I believe that he's got that. He wants violence. Wheeler Yuta and Cesaro are the ones that need this heel turn more than anything. And for the most part, it seems like it's going that direction. Hopefully,
and with Yuta, for me, I don't feel like he should be talking as much. I think like he just needs to be on crud in the ring, like up his violence by like 1,000.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the stiffest shots possible at all times. Like he just needs to be, like that pit bull. Yeah. Like once the bell rings, gone, like fuming, blood. I don't mind blood, you know what I'm saying? If he's not necessarily him, but like if he's letting his like opponents bleed or whatever, I'm cool with it because I don't know. When he speaks on the mic, I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a heel turn will necessarily do that. But if you show his heel side through his ring performance,
Yeah.
then he's gone, honestly. But Claudio, I don't even know if you can save him. I'm not even gonna lie
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same for Claudio as well, in terms of like his, and the thing is, I feel like a lot of people think I hate Claudio. In ring, I love Claudio. Like I've always
Yeah.
been like someone that supports him. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you feel the same way as well.
Mhm.
But it's like, okay, cool. The way he's kind of like been forced upon us, pause. It's like you've joined BCC. BCC is meant to be this combat club. Like you've done some decent stuff. You've had good matches. But at the same time, I just don't believe you.
Mm.
I honestly just don't believe you. And he's had heel runs in the past in WWE and other previous like Ring of Honor in the past, but that's very different to what he's doing now. And I want to be able to believe him. I want to be able to look at Cesaro and feel like, yo, like, he don't even have to say too much. But
Mhm.
when it comes down to it, he's on Baz and he's got that grit in him. And for now, I don't see it. Like I honestly don't see it. So I don't know, man. Moxley just needs to. I don't know. I don't know what drug Moxley has to give them. I don't know if it's. I don't know what food or jollof or pounded yam he has to feed them, but he needs to give them something. Pause, because
Pause.
they need that dog in them, and
Yeah.
it's very hard to believe them. So I mean, hopefully, they're able to kind of change that. BCC need it. I'm tired of. It. BCC definitely need it. But
Facts.
swiftly moving on. Aussie Open versus Tracy. Actually, we spoke about that.
Spoke about that. Yeah.
We had, I think it was Eddie Kingston versus Ben Dejo. Such a stupid. Such a
Bro,
stupid name.
bro, looked like someone out of 2K23 My Rise, bro.
But
Like,
he looks like a generic character. He looked like he was trained by Baron Blade. Big man team. He looked like he was trained by Baron Blade. The match was what we expected it to be.
yeah, man.
Quick squash. Eddie Kingston cut a promo after Cesaro came. Yeah, you don't
Said
deserve
minimal.
Yeah,
cut.
You don't need a match. You don't deserve a match with me. Kingston chased after him. Nothing came of it.
I'm just like, literally, I looked at it and I was just like, I need more. But then this is the problem. It reverts back to what we were just talking about. You've got someone like Claudio as world champion confronting someone who is believable and legit in Eddie Kingston. Like, regardless of what you say about Eddie Kingston and how you feel about him or his performances in the ring or whatever, he's mimicking New Japan style, whatever. I believe Eddie more than I believe Claudio.
Yeah.
Like, it's a night and day difference, isn't it? So in that aspect, I was expecting a bit more from Claudio. I was expecting him to say a bit more, but bro, literally, like, it was just a waste of time, honestly, him coming out and then chasing him backstage, and then nothing came of it.
Nothing came of
like,
it, and it was literally like Cesaro came through backstage a stage with Lexi. 2 seconds later, Eddie was literally there. Literally 2 seconds. Like there could have been some sort of brawl. Like I don't know what type of like slow build they're trying to build for, but like you said, Eddie for me he's much more believable. And with Eddie, if Eddie does win that title, for me it does seem like that title would mean more to Eddie than it does to Claudio.
Yeah, facts.
Because it just seems like Claudio just has a belt for the sake of having a belt because he's part of BCC. Whereas with Eddie Kingston hasn't necessarily had a major world heavyweight title yet. So you know that going into every program that he's going into, he's not fighting just to be champion. He's fighting to defend the fact that he's got this belt and he doesn't want anyone to take it away from him. Yeah. Whereas with Claudio, I just look at it as like, you know what, you're part of BCC. Let's just give BCC all the belts. Like I definitely want both Wheeler and Claudio to lose those belts. And just
I'm here for it.
I definitely want them to lose the belts. So yeah. And the main event of Ring of Honor, we had Sheila versus Willow Nightingale. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What type of music was this? Bang up at this, yo, baby.
Bro.
Yo. Yeah, you have to give him a clap for real.
Bro, you see that match?
Perfect. They booked it perfect. Bro. I was watching it and I just said, I don't want this to end, honestly. Like,
I did not want that match. Like, salute to Tony. I can't lie to you. They're giving us pay-per-view quality matches.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 weeks, we got 2 solid matches which could easily be on pay-per-view. If that, there's probably a couple more that could have been on pay-per-view. Like,
Yeah,
this was an amazing match.
Willow is her. She is so good, man. Like, in my opinion, way more talented than majority of the AEW women's roster.
Bro, facts.
She is so good from her charisma to the way she sells, her delivery, her offense. Everything is there. Like, she is a world champion, in my opinion. And it's a shame that this match happened so soon, innit? Because we knew Athena was going to win.
Yeah.
But a part of me was like, you know what? I don't even mind if Willow took the belt off her, because the performance justified the win.
I honestly hear it. That match was just like some of the spots and the sequences, and just like, even credit to Athena as well. Like,
yeah,
I know last year at some point I was like, maybe Athena tricked us, but as time went on, I switched. I was like, you know what? Athena's her. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But now, after that match, I don't know who else they're gonna get on this roster, but Tony, hear me well. These girls have set the bar.
Facts.
These girls have set the bar in terms of what we're expecting from women. And if a woman is gonna fight for the women's Ring of Honor title, it has to be to this standard. It has
every
to be
time.
To this standard. And bro, it just makes me excited to see where Willow goes from here, because she reminds me a bit of like the Takeshita's and Roosh. Like, she's killing it, having good matches. But with her, even though she's lost the big match, and we've like with them as well, even though they've lost the big matches, I'm more so excited to kind of see where this leads up to when she finally does get that massive win. Because the minute she gets a big win or she gets a title,
do you feel like after this performance, Tony's looked at her and said, you know what, women's division, AEW, like, I feel like I want to keep you there for the foreseeable future? Or do you think he'll keep her on Ring of Honor?
I would say possibly English. I think he'd possibly maybe have a jump between both. I know AEW have got that storyline with like the originals versus the new breed, and she kind of got involved with Ruby Soho, even though she's not necessarily an original. Like, I mean, it just depends. Maybe Tony aligns her with the originals, with the OGs.
Yeah.
I don't see it like, if Tony turns a heel, that's money lost. Wait,
she's got too much connection with the audience to turn her heel. That's a dumb decision.
Kids love her. She's good at promos. Like, she's got such a quirky style to her. Like, she's just a lovable person where I'm just like, this is not like, it's like, reminds me of Bailey, but more authentic. Not to say that Bailey was fake, but it was more so like, I believe this is actually her. Whereas with Bailey, it was like, this is getting a bit overboard. I don't know if you actually like this. And Bailey's character now seems more akin to how she is in real life, as opposed to what her character was when she's doing the whole.
That's what she said. That's what she said in the interview. She said that this like character she's playing now is more of what she's like in real life. But obviously, the people that don't know her just think she's like nice and friendly and kind. But she's actually like, no, I'm actually a bit of a bitch, if I'm honest. But then Willow, like, bro, even just looking at her Instagram, I just look at her, I'm like, I can tell you're just a good person. Like, you're just
mad wholesome, innit?
Yeah,
proper wholesome. You don't even spoil. That's not the type of baby spoil. You take her to museums. You take her to art exhibitions. This is not the type of baby you take to bars. You do shots. The type of baby that you just generally take care of. You know what I mean? Facts. Yeah, no, it was a dope match. Very, very good match, man. I'm just excited to kind of see where Ring of Honor goes ahead in terms of like build of pay-per-view. But the ladder match is going to be coming up, so we're obviously going to get a new tag team champion soon as well. I'm just excited to see Brian Cage. Forgot to say, Brian Cage looks like he's not going to be renewing his contract. He wants out. He wants out. So, boy, just when I was getting involved with the embassy, man.
Nah, they got to split up. That's tough. Well, not necessarily split up, but it's just not going to be the same without Brian Cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he's been wanting out for ages, man. Like, is what it is. His heart's kind of set on going to the E. Do I think he'll cook in the E? No.
No hesitation.
No, I don't see him cooking in the E, because for me, he's good, but I don't know. Like, the entertainment value, is it there? I don't know. Can you be entertaining to the likes of like your counterparts, which is going to be like Brock Lesnar? They're going to compare you to Brock Lesnar. They're going to compare you to Braun Strowman. Are you as entertaining as those people? I don't think so. So
Yeah, I think at one point I was one of those people. I was thinking like, if Ryan goes to WWE, he can cook, but at the same time, like you said, just the landscape of how things are and who could be his contemporaries, who can be his counterparts. I honestly don't know. And especially if Vince is potentially coming back as well, or Vince is back, or whatever the case may be, like I don't necessarily see where he could fit in. I feel like he's too old for NXT, but at the same time, I feel like he's a bit too advanced for NXT as well. But then in terms of the main roster, what could he possibly do? Like, where would they fit him in? Unless it's maybe like I don't see him necessarily being top of the card. Like I don't know. I feel bad for him. Like I feel like they may just have him with the Miz. Have him the Miz wearing the same garms as the Miz, like doing what Tommaso Ciampa was doing,
or being Dolph Ziggler's security guard or something like that.
Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they need to pair him up with someone else and go, just be someone's big guy for a minute and then split from there. I don't know, you know the prototypical, he's my bodyguard. They win tag team titles, and the next thing you know, they split off and they try to push the bodyguard and goes nowhere. Not everyone can be Diesel. I'm so sorry.
Facts.
Not everyone can be a bodyguard and go to become world champ. It doesn't work like that.
And actually be good in the ring.
It doesn't work like that. And Cage is good, but at the same time, it's like for entertainment value, I just don't see it.
I don't see it.
I feel like he should just stay in Ring of Honor. The matchups there. There's money being left on the table in terms of the matchups. And this is why I said the embassy needs 10 man, because they could just boot him out and bring someone in. Do you know what I mean? They don't need him.
Bullet Club type beat.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? But yeah, my Ring of Honor was good. Let's talk about GCW. I haven't watched it, but
I'm not talking about it. I ain't talking about that show, bro. Skip past that one immediately.
I'm finished. All right, say no more. Impact, roughly. Impact. What can we talk about Impact, man?
So what I wanted to talk about with Impact, it kind of affects everything that's happening in the landscape of other pro wrestling companies. So I didn't really watch this week's one, so you have to touch upon that. But last week we saw the Bullet Club become tag team champions.
Oh yes, they did.
And it's kind of, then you've got the whole situation that we're going to touch upon in a second with what's happening in Japan. Do you feel like this is the resurgence of the Bullet Club again, starting to, become a force again? But I know everyone's tired of them, but it's looking like it.
I mean, we can even touch on it quickly. So for those who don't know, David Finlay is now the leader of the Bullet Club. He cut a sick promo talking about it, talking about his dad. Why the hell would I take advice from Finlay? That guy's never.
I was like, I said, Che.
I said, okay. I was like, you know what? It's better you said it than me. I love Finlay, but how the fuck can he tell you anything? I ain't won a world title. He was running around with Hornswoggle in a shillelagh, fam.
Gallivanting for the United States.
You know what I mean? But do I see it? The thing is, like there's only so many times you can wrap shit around foil and put a bow on it and tell me that it's a present. I'll be real. I'll be so real. There's only so many times. Do I like David Finlay? I love them. I love David Finlay. Do I like Ace Austin and what's his name? Chris Bay and Kenta? I love them. Yeah. But I can't lie. Bullet Club are a non-entity. They're stupid. I don't actually like. I don't know where their place is in wrestling right now. I feel like there's so many better factions that they're so displaced, and there's so many people doing so many different things. Like people at House of Torture, I even forget that they're part of Bullet Club sometimes.
Yeah, it's mad.
They don't even feel like they're part of Bullet Club. They feel like they're their own entity, and it's a bit like I really don't know.
I think for me, they've gone too far away from what their original purpose was when they first got together, when Finn Balor first kind of brought the group together. And now it's just, like you said, just wrapping foil around over and over again and trying to say, this is something new, this is something new. But what I will say is, what I've noticed, and I respect New Japan for this, every single person that becomes a leader of Bullet Club, the drip gets upgraded by 10. The promo ability gets upgraded by 10. And then the overall presentation, it's like they just get extra XP and just become him. Because I'm looking at Finlay now, I'm like,
he looks very believable.
Yeah, I'll believe you. Like, you're him now. But then again, where do you go from here? But someone, and I've been seeing his name floating around a lot recently, and I hear it. Don't know how it worked, but I hear it. Streets are suggesting that we get Strickland as the leader of the Bullet Club.
That'd be very, very interesting.
That would be so interesting. Strickland fixed the Bullet Club perfectly.
I don't know how it would work, but
yeah,
I definitely see the vision. Yeah, it just depends on how he'd maneuver and make it happen. I feel like you would definitely add a bit more eyes to the Bullet Club in terms of like got the Bullet Club t-shirt on and he's coming with Rick Ross, and if Rick Ross comes to AEW with the Bullet Club t-shirt, accusations, false. Yeah,
Accusations Club.
Yeah, Accusations Club, bro. That's the name of the podcast. Bro, it will be unreal. It would absolutely. It would be like a proper. I never actually thought about that.
Because they can just do it for AEW. Because AEW doesn't have the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Impact does. New Japan does.
And Juice Robinson actually came back to AEW with the Bullet Club logo. Yeah,
it can run. It can run, but whether TK wants to do it, I don't know. And maybe he's got plans on. I don't know what Jay White's doing right now. Maybe just resting, taking time off.
Certain people think he's gonna go back to the E. So I don't think he should go back to Bullet Club, man. You've been beaten out of it. No point going back. Man.
Doesn't make sense.
But yeah, like you said, in terms of David Finlay, New Japan have this way of like once people become the leader, like a shift happens. So I'm interested to kind of see like, okay, cool. Bullet Club under Jay White was a particular type of way. How would Bullet Club be now under David Finlay, and what's his MO? Like, what's the plan in terms of like you being the leader of Bullet Club? Like, do I see him as a potential future world champion? 100% yes. I feel like David Finlay's always had the talent. He's always been good on the mic. He's always, had good matches. Like he had an incredible match with Will Ospreay last year with the best title. It's just a means of what is Bullet Club's MO going forward?
Yeah.
Because, like we said, Bullet Club always seems so displaced that you never actually know what their game plan is, and a lot of members don't really care for them. So it should be very, very interesting, man. Interested to see what happens. New Japan Cup is currently happening. I'll be real.
I don't care. I don't care.
With a lot of New Japan stuff, you already know what you're gonna get. It's the same Haribos that you get in the package. It's gonna be tons of good matches, but my only issue is with New Japan most of the time is they have a problem with kind of like spicing things up and change the guard a little bit.
Going out of the norm, basically.
Yeah, like I won't be surprised if someone like Shingo ends up winning the New Japan Cup. Someone that's already held the world title, someone that's already esteemed. Like, surprise me, man, shock me. You know what I mean? The last time I was shocked is when Evil won. Shock me, man. You know what I mean? Shock me. Let Carl Fletcher up. I mean, I can't remember the brackets. I'm sure a few people have been eliminated already, but let Hanare win or something, man. Like, let someone who people don't have any chance of winning, let them win. If they lose to Okada for the belt, then that's fine. But at least, give other people a chance to win, man. I'm tired of all the same people.
Yeah, they need to think more headlines, less comfy.
Yeah,
because New Japan right now they're doing all right, but like you said, it's just the same old copy and paste, nothing new. I'm interested to see what happens with El Phantasmo as well, because he doesn't seem like he's too keen on what's going on. But yeah, I don't really care about the New Japan Cup. I'll be very, very honest this year.
Ideally, I would have possibly had El Phantasmo as the new leader of the Bullet Club. Like he's been cooking and he's been wanting to be in the heavyweight division, so that would have been a good transition. I don't know. Who knows? You might get some sort of like battle between them two, between David and El Phantasmo, who could potentially be the leader. But then again, it's the same story we've had before. Tired of all the feuding, two people feuding to be leaders in the same group. It's tiring, man. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Give me something new, man. It's not every day the same missionary. Like, add back shots on. Add from the side. Add from the side and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Even heading back to Impact. How are you finding Impact these days?
Production stinks, man.
As to the production.
The production stinks, and it takes away from like the ring just sounds so loud, and the crowd are just quiet, and it sounds like there's like 10 people in the building instead of there actually being like 100.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. I just don't understand why they haven't moved venues, or why they aren't trying to do bigger venues. And I'm not saying they have to do venues that are holding 5,000 people or 10,000 people. Venues that are holding max like 2,000. Like, start trying to find these venues and trying to make it like, if I'm scrolling through a TV, bro, and I see Impact and I see what's going on, and then I'm scrolling again and they're showing a replay of AEW, for example, just theoretically speaking, I'm gonna be more inclined to watch AEW because it just looks visually enticing versus Impact. It looks grayed out, it looks weak. I don't know. And then the in-ring stuff, bro, there's a character on there that's pretending to be a zombie. Like, I'm finished, fam. Like, I can't do it. I can't. I've tried. And with all due respect, I do think he is a great person, but Josh Alexander to me just isn't the guy to be world champion.
Really?
Yeah, I just
Really? That's interesting.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like, he's not bad in the ring. He's not a bad person. He's good on the mic. He can talk. But when I just look at him, I'm just like, I don't believe you're as world champion. Like, it's nice you've got it. But then, bro, you look at the roster.
Who else?
Who else?
Who else? Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, I feel like Josh Alexander as champ, I can run with it. I fuck with it.
Fair enough.
I fuck with it. I think, like you said, he's very good in the ring. He's good on mic. I think what his downfall has been is that a lot of his stories have been a bit poo. They're very, very poo. The most striking story he was in was him regaining the title from Moose. You know, he won the title. He won the title last year, and then Moose cashed in on him with some sort of trophy. He beat him in front of his family, and then regained the title again. But yeah, in terms of like other competitors and other people that are believable as world champs in Impact, I think that's the detriment in terms of like his run. There's not necessarily anybody else that you could look at and think, yeah, this is someone. There's other former world champions that are there, like so Rich Swann. He had a good match with Rich Swann, but he's not somebody I'm looking at like.
No.
Eddie Edwards. Edwards is believable, but at the same time, he's got something that he's doing with PCO. Don't get me started on Sami Callihan. do not get me started on Sami Callihan.
Why?
Sami Callihan was, for me, one of the best wrestlers in the world at one point. He was one of the wrestlers in the world at one point. He was in a cold faction.
Was this around the time he had a feud with the woman that shall not be named?
The woman that shall not be named.
And
around that period.
Yeah,
around that period, and even after that, bro, killing it. But I just feel like he's lost. Like I'm just like not invested. And like even the stuff that he's doing with the design is very much like seems like he's just going backwards.
Has it? Yeah, it doesn't. I look at the story and I'm kind of like, you don't fit in this story.
Yeah,
like you've been placed in this just so you could do something.
Yeah,
but I don't even believe, when I look at him, I don't even believe he wants to be doing this. It's just something to do.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing stuff with people that, one, you're way more over than, two, you're better than, and three, it's like it seems like you've been in this place before. So why are you on the other end? Like, I get it. It's something different. It's, he's never necessarily, he's always been the leader of a faction if he's running anything. So for him to now be, quote unquote, begging to be in a faction and having to sacrifice his body to be in it, I'm just like, for these niggas, for Alan Angels, and for that brother that was in Ascension, come on, man. Ain't no way, boy.
Yeah.
Ain't no way, boy. So I'm just like, yeah, and like, even Impact alone, like, how can the most exciting thing be Willie Ray and Tommy Dreamer? Like,
they're cooking.
Like, how can that be the most exciting thing?
Bro, why are the old heads cooking like this? Jeff Jarrett's cooking in AEW as well. Like, it's not making sense.
It makes no sense to me. Like, how can that be the most exciting program? And even then, the world champion is linking up with what's his name, Frankie Kazarian and Rich Swann. They're not even necessarily feuding Bullet Club, but they've got matches coming up with Bullet Club. And then I'm like, nigga, you're the world champion. Like, you should like be in a program. You should be in a program. It makes no sense to me. So
They
I
got
don't
to step
know.
it up, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm guessing that they're building towards the multiverse event that they've got during like WrestleMania week with New Japan, but at the same time, it's like
I don't know why New Japan are even doing that. To be honest, like, just put on your own event. Just do something. I don't know. I'm not invested in the show. Like, I'm not gonna. That's the last show on my list to watch. Personally,
I'm gonna be in LA, but I'm not. I mean, unless I get free tickets, I'm not going to. I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it.
I would only go. I know Gabe is most likely going to be on the show, so if I do go, it's just support
see
Gabe.
him.
But
Yeah.
and then to watch Will Ospreay wrestle. I think he's going to be facing. Who's he facing? It's gonna come to me. But
Shout out to Gabe and Osprey as well.
big shouts to them. Yeah.
But yeah, so you watch Progress this week as well, innit?
Yes, I watched Progress 150.
Mhm.
Can't lie to you, I didn't have much expectation for Progress because, for the most part, I don't know, man. Like, as much as I enjoy watching a few UK stuff here and there, like, I don't feel like Progress has been the same for a while. I feel like Progress has been quite shoddy in some stuff like that. But I went into the show open mind. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna watch Progress in a minute. I did want to talk about like a UK indie. So why not start with Progress? Boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy.
Oh, the people.
This show was cold. I can't lie to you. This show was very, 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 very cold. I'll touch on a few matches, but there was a lot of matches. I think the standout matches for me were Leon Slater versus Callum Newman. That was a very good opener. Leo Rush versus Man Like Reese. Cold, man.
Rush was on the show.
Sir?
Rush was on the show.
Yeah, man. I didn't even expect it. But yeah, Rush was on the show. Cold match. RKJ versus Big Damo for the Atlas Championship. That match there, RKJ is only 22, 23. It was his birthday. He won the title. That match,
Mad.
I can't lie to you.
I
Like,
need to go watch
and
that.
one thing I didn't respect, and I understand why they done it. That Progress said, "Oh, this is the biggest match of his career." And in my head, I'm thinking, he literally just had a 5-star match with Ospreay last year. That was the big thing.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, he won the world title. Great. I mean, he won the Atlas title. Crazy.
You need to watch that.
Bro, it's a cold match. And Big Damo, he doesn't get a lot of the love that I feel like
he doesn't.
But he is crazy. Crazy. And like some of the sequences that they were doing, like there was one sequence where they Big Damo, he done like a Canadian destroyer, and bro, Big Damo he done a Canadian destroyer. They went into the middle rope, done a body splash, bro.
What?
Like I can't remember if he done like a John Woo drop kick, then into Canadian destroyer, into bro. It was ridiculous, man.
Is it true that he rejected WWE? Like, did they want to keep him and he said no?
I think he wanted. I think they probably re-offered him a contract.
Yeah, let him cook in the UK, man. Win a couple world championships and then
Killing it, man. Killing it.
see
And
what he wants to do.
Sanity's coming back as well. So them two, Axel Tischerman. He had a match on the card as well with some Welsh dude. Top to bottom, the card was good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that
out. What other matches were there that will stand out? The main event. Shout out Curtis Bell because me and him were talking and he said to me like, "Yeah, check out this match. It was very well done." And bro, I can't lie to you, this match definitely is in the shoe-in for like one of the matches of the year.
Is it?
100%.
Yeah,
bro,
I'm gonna check this one out immediately.
So the story is obviously so it wasn't necessarily Cara Noir. It was Tom Dawkins, the guy that is Cara Noir. So a few months ago, he lost his gimmick in a match against Spike Trivet. And since then, Spike's been saying to him like, "Listen, You're gonna have to wrestle as yourself. Come every week, wrestle, do whatever. But Tom's been losing, and then Tom came back to Progress, and then listen. I don't need the world title. I need that gimmick.
Okay.
Let's do this. If I win, I get the gimmick back.
Mm-hmm.
If I lose, I'm leaving Progress. Cool.
Damn.
Spike said, you're on. Come now to Progress. Tom's come to the ring. He's in his black trunk, his kick pads. All crowd fucks with him. Spike Trivet comes out wearing the Cara Noir paint on his face. Bro, the storytelling of this match is fucked. And I'll tell you why it's fucked. I'll tell you why it's fucked,
yeah.
Because Spike is wearing the Cara Noir paint.
Yeah.
Word for word, bar for bar, he's doing all of Cara Noir's moves.
Oh.
And it's like, the way the story's been told in this match, it's like, you see why Cara has this paint.
Mm-hmm.
It gives him his powers.
Yeah.
It gives him his powers. It gives him the strength to do what he's doing. And bro, Spike is absolutely mashing it. Like, he's, bro, the storytelling of the match is cold. There's even one point where Tom kind of comes back into the match. He's on top of Spike, and he starts rubbing his face into Spike's face, just so he can get the paint on his face.
Oh,
and you're starting to see the transition. And you're starting to see the transition of Spike being Cara, then going back to Spike.
Yo, this sounds cold,
bro. It's cold. And then Spike has and I think there's at one point Spike nearly won the match, and Tom has a wrestling school called Play Fight. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the Play Fight students, they were ring crew. One of his students pulled out. No, Tom was about to win, and one of his students pulls out the referee. And everyone's confused, like, this is Tom's student. Why is he doing that? Cool. Spike's bodyguard Bullet, he comes in with a chain. They're punching up. Cara Noir's wife comes to stop, because in their previous match, when Cara Noir lost his gimmick, I think they had a chair to her head, and they were gonna hit her with a chair. And it was an I quit match. So he quit the match. He was like, listen, I quit. Leave her, I quit.
Wait, what kind of bloodline Progress storyline is this?
Bro, the vignette alone sold me. I was like, you know what? I have to watch this, man. And then she comes in now, and then Spike holds onto her neck, like, listen, if you don't want me to do this, girl up, lie on the floor, take this pin. Tom says, fuck it, cool. Tom lies on the floor. Guess what happened next?
The wife done something.
She grabs him and gives him a fucking German suplex, yeah? She grabs him, does a German suplex, and then Cara has this cold move. It's not like a Luf. It's like he jumps onto you to do a Lufez press, but he switches around and gets you into like a sleeper hold. But he's holding Spike's arms. Cara's missus goes on the top rope and does a moonsault stomp onto him. Bro,
what am I now?
Bro, the match is ridiculous. Like, when I say this is honestly one of the best matches I've seen this year, like, I was like, I'm sold. Like, the storytelling, and like, even when I was chatting to Curtis about it, he was telling me there's something called the theatre of cruelty, something like that, because they both have a background in theatre. So there's a lot of like practices that they're bringing from that into the match. So then when he told me about it before I watched the match, I went to go do some research on like theatre of cruelty, what it means. And it's like the visual of like them not saying anything and them just using their body to show agony and all this kind of stuff. It's proper interesting. Like, and it makes you realize that there's a lot of like complex things that wrestlers do, whether it be their background in maybe MMA or this sport or that sport or this practice like acting, and that they bring into wrestling. It's like, yo, I didn't know this was an element of wrestling that you can actually have. And just like the storytelling of the match itself, just like, this is nuts.
No, I'm watching that, and I think anyone else listening and watching is gonna watch that. That
sounds. Please watch that match. Like, Brit Rest gets a lot of slack.
Yeah,
but I'm here to tell you that match with Tom Dawkins and Spike Trivet is one of the best matches I've seen in a while, especially in Brit Rest. And there's been a lot of Brit Rest matches that will always go under the radar, but that match, especially because it wasn't even for a world title, Like they said, fuck the world title. I want my gimmick back.
A gimmick had this much story and
I want my gimmick back. And the fact, and then seeing the transition of someone else using your gimmick, and then them kind of emulating everything that you do, and they're doing it to perfection, and they've got your character to a T. To them now, to you now picking out the flaws and kind of seeing that, wait, you're still that human that I usually face. You're not. You can't be me.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of The Mask. Like man can have your mask, and he can be his own character, but you're not The Mask. Like, bro, and it's like I'm watching it, I'm thinking, I'm sure I've seen something like this in anime or like it's just, bro, it's crazy, man.
That sounds so good. It literally sounds like something that you'd see on like a big show like AEW or WWE. Like it sounds as deep as like, not obviously to that level, but like, bro, it's giving me like Bloodline vibes. Like wife is out there suplexing. He had chairs to wives' heads and stuff. Raw, like this is sounding for a gimmick.
Bro, for a gimmick. And to kind of see where, like, because he was able to use the gimmick outside of Progress.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just Progress he couldn't. And obviously he was Progress World Champion during lockdown. So you can see that he's taken his company to be where it is. For him to now lose the gimmick and not wrestle as that gimmick, you're seeing that, like, Tom Dawkins is an amazing wrestler regardless. And it's credit to his acting skills to kind of see that there's a shift between being the gimmick and not being the gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like our friend Finn Balor where he's the demon and he's Finn Balor, and the only difference is that the heartbeat. Beat again, it's killing me.
Man said JLS.
So my heart won't beat again. Like there's a difference, you know what I mean? And it's bam, it's man. I can't give that match any more high praises than I've already done. That match was ridiculous.
Checking it out.
Absolutely.
As soon as we finish, I'm checking out. That's pretty much it, really, isn't it? There was MLW.
Yeah, how's MLW? I know they've got their TV deal now with Reelz, big them up.
Yeah, man.
How was it?
Yeah, it was good. In-ring quality still good. It was nice to finally watch because I haven't watched in a couple months actually since they moved to Reels. Fatu versus Rush is probably one of my matches of the week.
Was it Leo Rush?
Leo Rush, yeah.
I did hear that they had a match. I heard the match was good as well.
Really good, really good. And it was good because although it was like cruiser versus super heavyweight, Fatu moves like a cruiserweight, so they could still play off each other quite nicely. Leo Rush doing the same kind of just that. I don't know how he does it, but he's like a cat in the ring. Like he just don't stop
that evasion move where he will run to you and then run. Bro, he's cold as
he's
man.
Nuts.
Cold
he's nuts. But yeah, they really. Like, this is my first time watching in a couple months, and I kind of clocked on what they were doing. They're really trying to give Fatu like that mega ring performance because he's facing Mr. Stone in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Bro, he needs to get that belt back off Hammmerstone.
100%.
Hammmerstone has been one of the worst world champions.
100%.
And I don't think it's necessarily his fault because the stories he's been involved with have been terrible. But at the same time, that's down to you because when Jacob Fatu was world champion, he had an incredible run. He was having good matches. There was always people for him to face, and the whole Contra faction, they were absolutely killing it. And you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to kind of see where Jacob Fatu goes now, but you can kind of see that they've got such an investment in Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, he is MLW.
Yeah, I just felt like, not to be deep, I felt like they pushed Hammmerstone too.
Yeah,
he was always over, but what he was doing in the mid card was absolutely incredible. And now you've turned him into this pseudo Hulk Hogan character.
Cosplaying Hulk Hogan at your big age.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that, man. You don't
I'm not on it.
Doing that, man. You don't need to be doing that. But I mean, for the most part, MLW, like, it's a very, like, I cast it during the lockdown. There was a lot of things that I was just thinking, this makes no sense.
We was cooking, both of us were cooking it for the same reasons.
Yeah, and I felt like with, for those who understand WW2K references, I felt like MLW was just HLR. They just recorded as many matches as they can. They just slotted everything where they wanted to slot it. That's how I felt it was. So a lot of the stuff was not making sense to me. But obviously now they're out of lockdown. You know, they've got the crowd there. We've seen some sick matchups, and you know they've got their partnerships with like Dragon Gates, and they've got New Japan and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to kind of see where things go. Yeah, the tag. Who's even the tag team champions at the moment? I think that's probably even being bigger.
Oh, I can't remember their names.
It's not Calvin Tankman and
Yes.
EJ. They still
Yeah,
have,
it's
they still got the towels.
yeah, still got it.
Fuck no, man.
Still got it.
Still got the
But
towels.
they dropped a very nice, interesting promo because I think EJ's kind of leaning towards the world title chase
Yeah,
soon.
he was feuding Hammerstone for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if they've had their match yet, but
It was interesting, and Tankman was kind of just saying like, stop saying I, like this is a we thing, like we still
yeah.
have the tag belts, like we need to focus on what we've got ahead. Because I think they're facing they've kind of got this Samoan faction going again.
Oh yeah, Samoan SWAT team, yeah.
Yeah. So now they're facing two members of the Samoan SWAT team. So he's kind of like, we need to focus on that. We need to make sure that, you know, we're prepared for that. Stop saying I, like there's no more I, it's a we thing.
Yeah.
And EJ's like, yeah, actually, yeah, it's true. Like, it's a we thing. So I think his head, they're gonna lose because his head is very much like world championship, tag titles, like they're not really aligned. And then the last thing I want to touch upon with MLW is the Billington Bulldogs, I think they're called.
Yes, they are Dynamite Kid's nephews, I think.
Nephews, yeah.
Yes.
They are next up in terms of tag teams. Like I feel like they'll be in MLW for maybe a year, 2 years, and AEW, WWE will pick them up. Like they're very young, they're like 19, 21. So they've got ages. But already they're showing such promise and such ring awareness, and they don't look, they're not big. Their tight designs and their presentation is very, 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 very basic.
Yeah.
But what they do in the ring, especially being nephews of Dynamite Kid, is you can see the correlation in it.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed their match. They had a match against what's his name now? The one that wears like a bulletproof top and like
Myron Reed. Yeah.
Even him, he's cold. Yeah, they had a match against him and one of his partners, and it was really, really good. But yeah, I think MLW, I think like if you can watch it, anyone listening, if you can watch it, definitely check it out because the in-ring stuff is up there. The stories are much better than what they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Backstage segments are a lot better than what they used to be. And if you like a loudmouth, you still got Enzo on the roster as well.
Do you know who's fucking over in MLW?
Who?
Micro Man.
Is he?
Bro,
I don't think he was on the show.
He's over as hell. Like I was listening to Court Bowers Talk Is Jericho podcast. I've seen Micro Man a few times on MLW, but I don't necessarily like he's cool. I don't necessarily have any gripe with him. I don't really care. I'm not really rushing to watch his matches. But I think he's like 3'11", if shorter than that. Bro.
In terms of now I know you're talking about.
Yeah, in terms of merch and stuff, Court said through the roof.
Go on.
Through the roof. Like he is, and he's I think he's like only 19 as well. He's mad young. But everybody, like I think he was talking about because him and Enzo had a match. And Enzo went to the back and said, bro, I've not heard a reaction like that in a while. Like you've got something there. So yeah, man, like one thing I would do credit about MLW, like it's a variety show. It's very much different hybrids of different styles and different wrestlers from different backgrounds and different promotions coming together. And like you said, stories are getting better, backstage segments are getting better. If you like some of the mystical comedy, Lucha Underground-esque stuff, they still have that there as well. Yeah. Darren Cueto, whatever his name is now, he's there. So the only real thing is for Hammmerstone to lose that belt, and then we gravy. You know what I mean?
Or I mean, if Fatu leaves, I don't think he'll go to the E because of like his history, which is a shame. But he did in his match with Leo shout out that I am the bloodline. So,
bro, he's my tribal chief. I've been telling niggas he's my tribal chief. I remember last year they after when he returned because he left after losing the belt, then he came back. So they were doing like a few like promo segments on him. I must have put this in the GC time ago. That he was doing like this vignette where he was like smoking weed and drinking Hennessy. I said, this is my tribal chief. This is my like you can't convince me Roman is the tribal chief. This is my tribal chief. This guy on his day off is sipping Hennessy in Tim's in LA. this is my tribal chief. This is my actual tribal chief. Like,
Yeah, he
no,
shouted it out loud, bro. He's
no,
like, I have
no,
bloodline.
no two ways about it. This is my tribal chief. I'm so sorry.
Do you think
Roman,
he'll ever go to the E?
um, feel like I feel like he'd have aspirations to go there. Like his family are there. Do you know what I
Not so
mean?
much him. Like, do you
Yeah.
think the E would take him?
They had interest in the past, but due to his crimes and his past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I mean, you never know. I feel like since then he's been on the tier. He's been having amazing matches. On the mic, he's improved a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well traveled. I feel like there's still maybe places for him to go before he goes to the E.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he definitely needs to go to Japan. He definitely needs a run in Japan. My only fear is the minute he has a match in AEW, it's a wrap. It's an absolute wrap.
Would you, in a good way or a bad way?
AEW are going to take him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I personally don't want that yet. Because I just don't want him to get lost in the shuffle.
I don't even think he would, you know. I think Tony would treat him the same way WWE treats the Samoan Dynasty or like that family. I think he would give him, because there's too much, it's too rich. The family's too rich in terms of what they mean to professional wrestling to mistreat him or get him lost in a shuffle. Like he would instantly, in my opinion, enter the main event scene.
He'd need to.
And then boy, like him being part of the family and what he's done in MLW, he could be a babyface. And there's a story there in terms of MLW between MJF and Fatu, if it was to happen this year. I don't know if they've crossed paths in MLW, but I know at one point they were both on the show.
No, MJF, I think it was a former MLW tag champion.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been middleweight. I'm not too sure. I don't think so. But he was a former tag champion. But what would I even want to see?
There.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even want to. Like, my thing is, if Fatu was to go to AEW and he was to go against MJF, like he can't. I don't want to see him lose. That's my only issue. Like, will it mean anything? Like, it wouldn't take anything away from him. He's in the main event, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't want to see him lose to MJF.
If this was universe mode, you'd be booking Fatu like Triple H books Gunter, like just ultimate protection, no pinfalls.
Like, if that's the case, where I don't want him to lose, then he's going straight for the TNT title or Atlantic and winning it first day.
Oh, as
in the minute he walks into the building, I'm handing the belt like, yes, sir, take the belt, it's yours. Hold on to it. Obviously, give it back to them when they're doing the entrance. So you're gonna win it, but just so you know, this is yours.
It's yours, yeah.
I mean,
have him hold both actually at the same time.
Yeah, and then give him the television title, give him the Ring of Honor World title. I'll even say to Tony, go and buy more independent companies. Buy GCW if you have to, and then give him the GCW belt.
That's where you lose me. That's where you lose me. that's where I
buy the GCW belt and then take them belts as well. Use it. So
can't do it, man.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, shout out to MLW, shout out to Fatu.
I'm actually gonna watch it today. I'll watch it after
this.
Boy, this week's the matchup. Unfortunately, the people that commented didn't want to tell us which match was better. So we're just going to keep recommending. And then, what match you've got for us this week, then, bro?
Should I be honest? I don't even have a match. But I'll get one now.
I'm even searching now.
Look at this cheat. I'm trying to think from my brain. This guy is
me too. Me too. So, I mean, whilst we are thinking about our matches, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Hashtag #ItBoys. Hashtag Indytakers. If you guys want to support, that can join. More members. We'll probably even do some exclusive content for the members. Yeah, man. We'll see what we do. We could possibly even do like reaction. You know, you guys suggest a match to us. We'll react to it. And, you know, it's good.
I've got my match.
Damn. There was me talking. All right, so anymore. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna do Ospreay versus Oku at Repro last year.
Okay. That's a good match. You know what? Seeing as you're doing it UK, I'm gonna do the UK as well. I'm going to do. This is a bit of a sleeper. I think it's one of my favorite matches that happened last year.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be Kid Lycos versus Chris Brooks. No DQ match that they had at Progress. the storytelling in that match.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm gonna send you the highlight, the vignette that Lycos made, yeah. Because I randomly, this is 2K stuff. I was trying to look for, I wanted to make a character based on Kid Lycos in terms of the mask, the tire, moveset, and all of that kind of stuff in it. So randomly, I just went on his YouTube, and I saw Kid Lycos versus Chris Brooks. And Chris Brooks, he's rarely in the UK because he wrestles in DDT. So I thought, okay, cool. Let me check this. I saw the vignette that he made for it. I was like, yeah, this match is nuts. And like even the way he cut into like, because they used to be a tag team, they cut into like, I'm gonna send you the vignette now. I'm gonna send
send it.
Bro, after I watched it, I went to go and search Twitter for both of their names to see if anybody had been talking about the match. Because I was thinking, why is nobody talking about this match? This match is fucking incredible. I went to go watch the full match on the WWE Network, and I said, yeah, the storytelling in this match is crazy. Kid Lycos came in this match as a heel. Chris Brooks came in as a face. The match, and they both turned by the end of the match.
Mad.
Bro.
Is Progress still on WWE?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I looked for it the other day. I wanted to just go through some old shows, but couldn't see it.
Not anymore. Because I even remember during the show, they said, Nick Wayne, AEW superstar, obviously signed to AEW. And then one of the commentators said, oh yeah, we weren't allowed to say that a few months ago. But now we can say it. I say, you niggas are cheeky. You niggas are fucking cheeky, aren't you? But yeah.
I'm invested. I'm invested. Not even just from what you sent. I just saw. Is it Lycos, the one with the mask and the? Yeah. I like the presentation.
You see the vision. You see the vision.
That's
what I was trying to go for. I was trying to go for something like that for 2K in it, but yeah, man, that's yeah. Fuck it, we might even do a 2K giveaway. So
might as well.
We might as well. You know what I mean? 2K's out. Well, certain man have already got the game, anyways. Man, 2K haven't messaged me yet, but you know. I mean, you guys can see the 2K23 distant in the back. So, you know, gang ties is it.
Shout out to 2K.
Shout out to 2K every single time. And yeah, man, this has been the It Boys, Indy Takers. I've been your boy, Delboy.
It's been Young Wolf.
And if you don't know about it, get to know it. Just made that up on the spot.
Made that one on the spot. I'm messing with it, though. I'm messing with it.
It Boys in the building tonight. You guys, see you guys next week, man.
In a bit, man.